My friends, this is Ned Shout, and this is the Craft of Fatherhood podcast. I just was running up the driveway, taking the trash out. It stunk real bad because I put a dead rat in there a couple days ago. I was just running around cleaning my office. It still looks like trash, clean enough, looking out in the yard, and there's more work that I wanted to get to today, but then other things became more important. And I have a drop dead date time to be out of my office and off to pick up my daughter from volleyball with the whole family because it's her 13th birthday and we're going out to dinner. I took a pause as I'm running up the driveway thinking, man, it's been on my list for a week to record a Craft of Fatherhood podcast, and I just have been busy. There's just been other priorities. And it got me thinking about all the things that I'm doing with and for my kiddos, making sure that they're a priority, that my wife's a priority, and realizing there's things on the back burner, and also feeling like so much of the time right? This podcast isn't really about me, but it's about you. You're running around watching Instagram, watching Facebook, whatever, feeling like maybe you're not enough, maybe you're not doing enough, maybe you don't have enough time, maybe you're not hitting the mark. And I just, as I'm running around trying to coach myself, like, okay, get all this done before we got to go, because then I have to fly out tomorrow and I'm gone for a week for work. How many of you are just feeling that way? Just feeling like, oh man, there's so much to do in so little time. Am I doing the right things? And I just want to tell you, the fact that you're pausing and listening to this and investing in yourself, like, dude, you have what it takes. I think our kids need to know that we care. I don't think that it's about how much we do, although, you know what? I get it. Like, I want to give my kids everything. I want to give my wife everything, not stuff necessarily, but time, presence, connection, relationship. So it's like, okay, last night, I want to get in bed at a certain time. But my 12-year-old, it's her last night of being 12. And I wanted to honor that. I wanted to celebrate that. And she wanted to watch a show. And then we got super into it. So then we wanted to watch the second episode. And we're just cuddling on the couch, talking, laughing, enjoying. And then I go put her to bed, sing a couple songs, trying to hang on to that her kid phase as much as possible, while also honoring the fact that she's not a little kid anymore, right? That became the priority, which then I had to get up a little bit earlier. And you know what? It's worth it. It's worth it. And so I guess as I'm thinking, like, I'm supposed to have, several episodes ready in the queue for Fridays, and there might not be the next, I have just found myself in a busier season the last couple of months with some things that I've wanted to make important, right? I mean, I've got to work, got to feed the family, but I'm homeschooling my son. I think I'm doing a 7 out of 10. My one daughter, then you go on the other spectrum. It's perspective, right? She is a senior and she can work out around 1:30. And so it's like I've designed my day, which puts a different level of stress and pressure on me to get my work done and make sure my team, my clients, everything is like not falling apart, but to go sneak out for an hour and go work out with her, because in a year I can't do that anymore. In a year that's gone, right? So are you realizing, okay, one, to not put pressure on yourself to do everything right. Like, my yard looks kind of like crap. My garage kind of like crap. I want to do those things, but I'm learning to say yes to the staying up a little later with my 12-year-old and then carving out my day on the other bookend to like be able to work out 4 days a week with my daughter, who this is the last chance. I mean, maybe she lives here for a summer, maybe she lives here for a year, like as she's transitioning into this, that, or the other with life and career, etc. But as far as her being a kid in my home, this is it. Our talks while we're stretching, while we're doing core, like she does her workout, I do mine, and then we end with core and stretching and then a protein shake. And like today, it's like I made a joke about it, but I took a picture of us and I pretended to cry, whatever, dramatic dad. But the truth is, like, in a year, I'll pull that picture up and she'll be probably in some other state going to school. And so, what am I saying to you right now? This podcast definitely won't be perfect because there's other things that are important. Your life should not be perfect. It should be a bit of a mess. And I mean that in a loving way, like the lawn, the weeds, like the weeds on the west side of my house are like, I definitely need to get to those at some point. Garage, I would love if the tools were all put away, and it's okay. It's at about like a 60%. But are we getting distracted? Don't feel like you have to have those things perfect. My dresser, it's like I get it all put away and then boom, it looks like crap again. And it's tough because like I want my kids' rooms to be relatively clean, so I got to set an example. But at the same time, I am trying to invest in 5 people plus my wife, 6 people, and be there present with them. So one, don't expect everything to be perfect. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. It's funny. I think I said this before, but I heard somebody say recently, don't trust a man whose garage is perfectly clean. I thought it was funny. Obviously, if we're a single dude or have no kids in the house, like by all means, have a perfect garage. But if I'm constantly distracting myself from what's most important because I'm justifying that my garage needs clean, my yard, my this, that, and the other, and I'm missing out on an important relationship with my teenage daughter, teenage son, don't don't miss that because it is short, right? It's short lived. Like my youngest is 13 today. Her childhood, it's like there's a bunch of girls staying over here for her birthday, and they're still sleeping in a tent and playing spoons and hide and seek and stuff. So they're still doing that, but it is changing. And I've got one in college, another one on the way. So I guess the second thing I would say is like be okay living in the tension of the mess, and then two, be present to the season that you're in. Be aware that today, the way things are today, are not going to be that way forever. My son and I are doing this Primal Path, John Tyson, like write a passage. There's a daily devotion. It's really good. You get it done in like 15 minutes. But we were talking about, like it's right now. It's about Joseph. Joseph in the Old Testament. He's like in prison, and then Pharaoh calls him out, and blah 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 blah. And when we talked about this, there was something with 14 years. So we're like, whoa, 14 years. He waited for 14 years. And I was like, think about if there was a promise God gave you or me, and it's like, dude, in 14 years, I'll be 50, 56. I'll be 56. And like, Brody, you'll be 30. Because we're talking about wisdom. Like, dude, we will be different men. Like, in our life, that seems like a long time. But realizing that, because we're like, oh man, when you're 30, you probably have a wife and kids. Dang, that is nuts. So being aware of what is today, what do you have today? What's the opportunity today? Who needs you today? In what ways do they need you today? And I get you, man. I'll tell you this at the same time, I want you to know. So third, if I was going to end with the perfect 3 here, is you're not alone. You are not alone. There's so much to do, bro. And it's like, as much as I would love to get out there and, weed whack these weeds on the side of the house, it's like every day there's so many things to just keep it all alive. Fun story, and I'm sure you can relate. The other day, I walk in my garage, I'm on mission to do something, and I hear this noise in the attic, and I've been catching rats up there. And I hear this noise, and I'm like, what the heck is that? So I'm like, I bet there's a rat in my claw clamp that just didn't die. And so I go grab a BB gun. I get a headlamp on. So I got a headlamp on, BB gun, pull the ladder down, crawl up in the attic. And it's like I can kneel over. So I got a little bit of space and I hear it. It's like this rat is stuck in this trap. And it had made it about 8 feet away from where the trap was. And it just keeps running into this wall. And its face is just in this trap. And so I'm like pumping this BB gun, and I have to shoot the rat to get it to die so that I can pull it out of this thing. And it sucks. It sucks. But I laugh because it's like there's so much crap that our wives do that we'll never know, we'll never understand. We won't quite get it. We do get the fruits of the labor of it, right? Like I love coming into a home that is like we got a Christmas tree up already. It's November 4th. Freaking love it. Love it. And the time spent putting that up, I never would have spent that amount of time. But when I walk in, I love it. Don't understand, but I do love it. And then it smells good in my house. Like, what's up with that? I don't really know. There's some things in the wall, I don't know how it works, but there are things they do that I'll never see, I'll never understand. And then there's things that you and I do. And here's the deal. You and I'm not saying that there should not be a scorecard. There shouldn't be. But if there is a scorecard, or if there was one, you and I should be trying to put up more points. How can we put up more points? Not to be better, not to be justified in something we want to buy or something we want to do, but for the sake of, am I dying? Am I giving as much as I possibly can for this family? And not like day after day after day after day, and then we snap like, I do so much for this family. No, don't keep scoring that way. But am I giving my everything? Because think about this. If you went to war and you were out there with your brothers, you would do anything and everything to lay it all out on the line for them. Why don't we do that in our home? Why can't we do that? We can. That's truly, I think, our opportunity. Men, husbands, love your wives like Christ loved the church. If we do that, they will respond, but we can't do it so that they respond, right? Our wife and our kids. We don't want to do it so that they'll respond in love. We want to do it because it's our job, it's our opportunity, it's our responsibility, it's our stewardship. So, in closing, there might be a podcast next Friday, maybe not. I'm a little bit in a busy season, but I will tell you that I have big hopes. There's some things I'm closing up, and that as I step into 2026, I'm very excited. Going to be launching the girls' book, going to be revamping the podcast, going to be continuing to promote you because you matter, you are needed. I truly believe with all of my heart that the purpose here, for me, looking at the kingdom of God, the world is getting better. There is opportunity here. We are not to escape this place. We are here to be fruitful and multiply and to make this place great and be salt and light and love to people around us. And it starts in the home, starts with the family. And any good dance starts with somebody grabbing a hand and taking that first step to lead the dance. And I believe that's here in my role. That's the opportunity you and I have in our homes. And if you and me and everybody else listening and everyone you and I come in contact with and start spreading that message that fatherhood matters, and we start leading our homes with love, come back in 100 years, come back in 1,000 years, this place is going to look different. And it's an opportunity you and I have. So my friend, you matter. Fatherhood matters. Together, you and I are going to rebel against the status quo, rebel against mediocrity. We're going to love and lead our families well. Not just for our sake to feel good when we look in the mirror today or when we're 85, but if we are looking into our family in 100 years or 500 years, we'll go, the work that we did, the way that we love, the way that we serve, the way that we put up points after points after points after points for the sake of our family. We'll see it play out. We'll see the positivity, the growth. I believe that with all my heart. All right, my friends, shoot me an email. Something you want to talk about, something you want to hear about, a great guest for my Tuesday podcasts, ned@rebellandcreate.com. Please write a review. Please share this with a friend. If I don't put something up new for a week or two, go listen to something old. Tons of goodies in there. Much love to you. Blessings. And I look forward to hanging out with you next time.